Saram, my most humble and loving pranams at the lotus feet of our dear Lord, Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Saram everyone, my name is Yumesh, and today I feel so blessed to be able to share my journey and moments in Sai with all of you today. So a little bit about myself to begin with. I was born and raised in Malaysia, and my journey with Sai began at the tender age of 5 through the Balvikas program. I was part of the program all the way up till my teen years, and that culminated with my first trip to Prashanti at the age of 16 through the National Youth Yatra program. It was also the first time that I'd seen Swami face to face, and that trip really redefined what Swami meant to me and how I saw Swami as part of my daily life. So over the past 12 years, I've been living here in the UK, and over the years, I've seen Swami more as a companion and a friend as I navigate through the ups and downs of adult life. I regularly have conversations with him about how things are going, and I've also sort of had to rely on him when I've needed to make big decisions in my life. So he has definitely been there for me at every step of the way. So I've had many moments with Sai, but the one moment that I'm really keen to share with all of you today is an incident that happened about a month ago. So it's really fresh in the memory. So a bit of context to begin with. In September, I went back to Malaysia for a 3-week holiday. And whilst I was there, I underwent a planned minor operation on my nose and my mouth to fix a breathing issue that I had. The operation went smoothly, and the doctor that conducted my operation advised me that I needed at most about 2 or 3 weeks of rest and recovery when I got back to the UK before I would feel fully normal. And he didn't expect anything to sort of happen in that time. However, after coming back to the UK, and in the first week, what happened was in the middle of one night, I started developing some complications in my mouth and nose. And it was really panicking me at first, because after taking medication and also trying different things that I had in my house, nothing seemed to work. And I immediately realized that I needed to go to the hospital as soon as possible to get it looked at. And that stressed me out for a couple of reasons. Firstly, because the complication happened in the middle of the night, I knew that I would have to go into A&E to get it looked at. And secondly, I wasn't in a state to be able to get to the hospital myself. So I realized that I had to call the ambulance for it. And on both instances, it would be the first time that I would be experiencing it. So it made me super nervous. And all I could remember on the way to the hospital was, thinking about the different possibilities and different situations that I could sort of end up in once I get to the hospital. So I was definitely panicking in that moment. However, I also remember sort of praying to Swami on the way to the hospital and just asking him to guide me and be with me throughout the whole process, and for him to get me back home safe and sound as soon as possible. So when I got to the hospital, I was immediately placed under observation, and they advised me that the ENT doctor would turn up in the morning, examine me, and then decide what to do with me off the back of it. So I waited, and at 9 o'clock, the ENT doctor turns up. And to my complete amazement, the doctor was someone that I had actually met before through a mutual friend at a separate event. And the moment we sort of looked at each other, we immediately recognized each other, and that put me immediately at ease. And the doctor was fantastic. He started by asking me what had happened with my complication. He also asked me questions about the operation that I had in Malaysia. He did a thorough check on me to make sure that I was in a stable condition, and he also went out of his way to speak to my doctor in Malaysia to get my medical records and to also get the notes from my operation, to just make sure that he had a full picture of what was happening. And after all of that had happened, he decided that I should be okay to be discharged on the same day with some medication to take over the next few days. And if everything goes well, the recovery should happen within the sort of time frame that my doctor in Malaysia had initially told me about. So that really shocked me, and it also really put me at ease that I was able to get out of everything that happened within the same day. And when I reflect on that whole incident, the one thing that really sticks in my mind is Swami's quote about why fear when I'm here. And that is so true, because when I was on the way to the hospital, I was thinking of all the different scenarios and all the different possibilities of how this could end, and I was just fearing every different outcome that I was thinking of. But what Swami tells us is, if you put your full faith and your full trust in him, and you tell him, Swami, I am leaving everything at your lotus feet, and I want you to take care of the situation for me, please. Swami will never let his devotees down. And that was the profound thing that I sort of took away from that whole experience. So I hope that as you go through your own lives, you also put Swami front and center in everything that you do, and you also place your full trust and faith in him, because by doing so, Swami never lets anyone down, and he is always there for all his devotees. So that was the sort of biggest message that I took away from this whole incident. Thank you so much again for giving me this opportunity to share my moment inside with you. Sai Ram, and God bless.